Confirm. Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay. So yesterday I was talking about this identity provider and identity center. So I promised to repeat this topic again. So please concentrate now. Okay. So we have identity provider or identity federation or identity center. We call it as here we talk about SSO. So what is SSO? Single sign-on. The meaning of single sign-on in our real time, how it is related to us. Let's see in the real time. In real time, everyone will have the company email ID and password. So with company email ID and password, you log into your laptop. Okay. And then if you want to access AWS services, you need to have AWS account, right? So that meaning in AWS, you need to create IAM user. So that meaning how many credentials you have now at the moment? 2. One is your company email ID and password. Another one is AWS credentials. So you need to maintain multiple credentials. In order to not to maintain multiple credentials, so what is the concept that you can use here? SSO, single sign-on. So the concept of this is with one single company email ID and password, you should be able to log into the AWS directly. Do you create the IAM user in AWS? No. So directly from your company email ID and password, you will be logging into the AWS. Okay, now you have company email ID and password. How does your company email ID and password knows AWS? It is your company email ID and password. Let's say this company is Infosys, for example. You take Infosys. So you have an Infosys, let's say, what is the name? Rahul. Rahul@infosys.com is the email ID. So now he has logged into his laptop with rahul@infosys.com and password. How does rahul@infosys.com knows AWS? It is completely your company email ID, no? So your company email ID and AWS doesn't have any connection. But with company email ID and password, how are you able to log into the AWS? Because first of all, your company and AWS, first what you need to do, you need to do the federation. First, what you need to do? Federation. So now I want to talk to Rahul. Rahul is some strange person. I'm also a strange person. Can I go directly to him and say, how are you? First, what I need to do? I need to introduce myself. Hey, Rahul, how are you? That is federation. First, establish the connection. That connection establishment, we call it as federation. Right? And now, company email ID and password is there. So company email ID password, where is your company email ID and password is created? Here, no? In the domain, no? Is it recommended to create username and password in every desktop? No. You need to have a centralized location, no? So that centralized location, we call it as domain controller. What do we call? Domain controller. So domain controller is just a name. But what is the software that you are installing inside the domain controller? Active Directory. What is that? Active Directory. Active Directory is a service from Microsoft. It's a service from Microsoft. So Microsoft has DHCP, DNS, all Windows related things, right? So one of the topic here is called Active Directory. So what does Active Directory is? Let's say in your company, you have hundreds of laptops. Let's say you have 100 employees. So 100 employees has 100 laptops. No, everyone has a laptop. So all the laptops, you need to create email ID and password. So will you go and create username and password inside the laptop? No. You cannot create inside the laptop. No, you will be creating centrally in one location. Which location? Active Directory. So you create centrally in one location all your email ID and password. This is called Active Directory. You create it here, and all your 100 laptops, you will be joining to the directory. You will be joining to this domain. That's why it's called domain controller. So this domain will be controlling all your laptops, all your credentials. So instead of creating the credentials individually in each and every laptop, you will be creating the email ID and password centrally in that location. That is Active Directory. Wherever you install this Active Directory in one server, and that server is called domain controller. Domain controller is a name. What is there inside it? Active Directory. What is there inside it? Active Directory. You understand? So now all your 100 laptops, I will be attaching to the domain. So in real time, those who are working, they know this. Those who are working for your companies, you have your laptop, right? Or desktop. What you will type? You will type username, password, and the bottom you have domain. Those who are working already, they will know. In the bottom, you have the domain, right? So you select the domain. The domain is nothing but domain controller. So the username and password that you're putting inside the laptop, that request will go and talk to whom? Active Directory. The request will go to the Active Directory and say that, hey, Active Directory, this is a username and password. Please check it. So Active Directory will check the username and password. And if Active Directory say that, yes, the username and password is correct, then only you will be able to log into the laptop. Otherwise, if the password is correct or not correct, or username is not correct, you cannot able to log into the laptop. That laptop is controlled by domain controller. So what is that is the question here. So here is asking, how are these laptops connected to the domain controller? How are they connected? Your admin, what he will do is basically, if you go to every laptop, what they do is, if you go to the settings, you will be joining to this directory. That is how it is connected. So as an admin, what he'll do is all your laptops will be already connected to the domain controller. How? It is none of our business. Okay. So because this is the client operating system, it doesn't have maybe. So you need to go to somewhere to your settings, and there you have option called, you have a computer name, no? It has been long years for me. Computer management. I don't think so. This has, but this is a Windows 11, no? No, not this. My computer is powered somewhere, no? Where is that? No. My computer, this PC, no? Right click and properties. So where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Advanced system settings, correct. Computer name. Yeah, here. Yes, this one. So who is that? You. Admin? No, network. So I still remember these. I have been doing this in my day one days. When I was in data center, right? So our job here is, we have all our laptops that will be connected to the domain. So this is the place. If you click on change, here it will ask either it is work group or it is a domain. Here you need to put the domain details. This is how you will be connected. But is it related to AWS? No. So, but that the thing is here, this is how you will be connected to the domain. Okay, now? Thank you. Okay, so now, but this domain controller is using what protocol? Active Directory is using what protocol? LDAP. What's that? LDAP. So now your company has Active Directory now? Guys, your company has Active Directory, and Active Directory is working on which protocol? LDAP. So your email ID and password is stored where in Active Directory? Your email ID and password is stored in the Active Directory, and your Active Directory need to talk to the AWS. Your Active Directory is working on which protocol? LDAP. So LDAP need to talk to the AWS. So your LDAP and AWS, they both need to do the federation. They both need to do the federation. Once the connection is established like this, so here, federation to AWS. So this one we call it as identity provider. First, you need to establish the connection from your LDAP to AWS. Guys, I'm giving an example of LDAP. People, there are so many tools available. One is LDAP, another one is OAuth, another one is Okta. So experienced people, have you heard about this? Okta. So all your credentials and all these things will be managed here. So basically, you will be doing federation from LDAP to AWS. Okta to AWS. First, you establish the connection. Okay. Let's say like connection from LDAP, LDAP to AWS. Once you establish the connection, now you tell me. In LDAP, you have, guys, in LDAP, you have users, email ID and password. Username and password is there. See here, guys, I'm telling you the logic. In LDAP, you have username and password. So as the connection is established from your LDAP to AWS, now with email, this username and password, you need to log into the AWS. Correct? You need to log into the AWS. So now in AWS, do you need to create IAM users? No. So with the username, LDAP username and password, you need to log into the AWS. Okay, you logged into the AWS because federation has happened. What kind of permissions that this username and password has? For that, here we create IAM roles. In AWS side, what we'll create? We'll create roles. Do we create IAM users? We create IAM roles. So now, as the LDAP has connection to AWS, LDAP can access AWS roles? Yes, it has a federation already. So let's say I create a role called developer role, which has a Lambda access. And I created another role called admin role. I create another role called DevOps role. So role can I attach permissions for roles? Yes. Now this username and password I'll attach to the roles. Whichever the roles I want, I can attach to the roles. Then whenever this username password log into the AWS, automatically based on the role it is attached, he can access those services. This is how the federation will work. So this federation we cannot do as a practicals because it is a combination of your Active Directory, LDAP, your on-premises to AWS. Yes, Shiva, LDAP is an on-premises. No, yes, no, that's what I said. So do we have LDAP and all? No. But as I said, and okay, so I'll give you one more example. In AWS, there is a service called Identity Center. What is that? There is a separate service called Identity Center. Let's say, for example, Nana, what is the, okay, I want to manage multiple root accounts. Which is the service is used to manage multiple root accounts? Organizations. What is that? Organizations. Correct? Okay. Now, let's say I have multiple root accounts. 1, 2, 3. 3 different root accounts. 3 different root accounts. Okay. See here. This is a root account. This is another root account. This is another root account. Can this root account can be used for dev environment? Can this account is used for what environment? Test environment? Can this use for prod environment? Can I do like this? Yeah, I can. No, I can. 3 different root accounts. I can. I have I definitely, right? Or else, first root account is for DevOps, second root account is for testing, a third root account is for security, like this. So I'm just giving an example, dev, test, prod, like this. You have different teams also. Now I have a user here, Rahul. I have a user here, Rahul. Now Rahul is my teammate, and Rahul need to access only test or test and prod environment. Rahul need to access what? Test and prod. So that meaning technically how many IAM users I need to create for him? 2, na? Simple as that. How many root accounts are 3? So I want to create IAM user in test environment. I want to create another IAM user in the prod, and then only can able to log in, no? But the thing is, I don't want him to create multiple IAM users. With only one user, he should be able to log into multiple accounts. What is the concept that we should use here? SSO. You're getting it. I have multiple root accounts. And I want Rahul to access multiple. Let's say Rahul want to access all three accounts. all three root accounts. So technically, I need to create how many IAM users? 3 IAM users. One IAM user in dev, another IAM user in test, another IAM is in prod. But do I create 3 IAM users? What if I have 10 accounts? That meaning should he handle 10 users? No. So what I need to create? I need to create one user I need to create. Where you need to create? Identity center. In which service you create? In identity center, you create a user called Rahul. And all these guys, see, all these things will be a part of my organization. If I want to manage multiple root accounts, how do I manage? Using a organization. So all this thing is part of my organization. So now what I do is I create a Rahul in identity center and I give permissions to whichever account that he want. I can give the permissions. And identity center has a URL. So I'll give that URL to the Rahul, and Rahul will able to open that URL, and then he'll have an options. You want to log into the dev, you want to log into the test. Based on the permission that I have given, he can log into the test to dev or prod. So with one single Rahul user, which is created in identity center, with one user, he can log into the multiple root accounts using the concept of SSO. Understood? No. Okta LDAP, that is from on-premises to AWS. Now this one I am talking about within the AWS. As I said always, this is an advanced topic. So I hope I have made it clear for you now today. Clear, Nana? Is it clear? Any questions on this? So I'm asking, so everyone has the root account created? Everyone has a root account created, right? I mean, your sign up root. I'm asking to have your root account. So how many root accounts you have? Only one. So basically you have signed up only one. I'm asking to sign up to the AWS, and you have signed up with many times. Okay, you put the efforts and you have signed up. And if I ask you to have 3 root accounts, will you create? You will say, "Arey sir, with one account only we have our card details are there. It's very impossible." So if at all you want to work with organization's concept, how many minimum root accounts you should have? 2 you need to have. Your main account is your management account. Your other account will be the member account. So if at all you want to work with this kind of scenarios, you need to have multiple root accounts. Clear, Nana? Identity center is a service from AWS. So you can do the federation from your on-premises to AWS, and you can do the federation within the AWS also. So identity center in previous years they call it as SSO only, single sign-on, but SSO in AWS is now changed as identity center. Now SSO is called as what? Identity center in AWS. There is no definition there. Okay. Is this clear? Okay. Online, is it clear enough for you? CC? Super. Offline, okay na? Everyone? Nice. Okay. So now let's talk about today's topic here. We call it as IAM tags. What is it? IAM tags. IAM tag. Very important. Okay, so let me start with one small funny example. What is a tag? Let's say, for example, you and your Friend. Okay. You mean friend. Your friend, you both are going in the shopping mall. Your partner, she saw a nice jean in the shopping mall. And she said, generally they call baby babu and all, right? So baby, I want that jeans. So, okay, you will say that sure. When you go inside that shop, the first thing that you search for what? Tag. What is that? Tag only, no? What does the tag contain? Price. That meaning information it contains, right? You forget about the jeans. How does it look like? But the first thing that we look for what? Tag. Are kai re bhai tag. Huh? Right? So same thing here. Let's say if you take a jean, you search for a tag. You search for a tag. What does the tag contains? Tell me. Price is there. How much? 10,000, huh? मर गया साला. Okay, next. Brand is there. Which brand? Huh? Huh? H&M, Sara. Okay, Sara or Killer, whichever it is. Okay. Size, you only know, we don't know. Okay, next. Okay, so basically, etc., etc. Okay, so here, guys, so basically, the tag contains the information. Let's say, for example, if you don't have a tag for that item, is it possible to know the details of that item? No, you cannot, right? So can we say here, tag is nothing but it's a price is like a key and then 10K is like a value. So tag contains key and value. Agree, everyone? Tag contain what? Key and value. If someone asks what is a tag, then you should say tags are key value pair. Tags are what? Key value pair. So I gave this example, but in our real time, you have launched so many EC2 instances. Let's say you have 30, 50 EC2 instances. Without giving the proper tags, is it possible for you to identify which EC2 instance used by which person? You created an IAM users called Rahul. And there might be multiple Rahuls in my company, right? And then if you have 500 IAM users, is it possible to identify who is Rahul? You need to give a tag. Every resource in AWS, you need to give the tag. So tags are used for identification purpose. Tags are used for identification. Tags are, just imagine, Chite, you have so many things. You have big infrastructure in AWS, so many EC2 instances, so many buckets, so many databases, so many this, that, and all. If you don't have a proper tags, is it possible to manage? So if you want to manage your AWS account infrastructure purely nicely without any risk and problem, you need to use tags. So every resource that you create, you give a tag. You give a tag. So how many tags you can give per item? Like this year, we have a gene. So for gene, I have price, brand, size, barcode. I have so many things, right? For here also, for every resource, you can give maximum up to 50 tags. How many? 50. In one tag, how many you can add? 50 tags you can have. So can we say tags are used for identification purpose? So you went and launched and one EC2 instance here. And this is the EC2 instance. And you should give the name of the EC2 instance, no? Name is equal to, let's say, web server. What is that called? Name is equal to web server. Tag. Name is a key. Web server is a value. What is that? Is a tag. Like if for that same EC2 instance, how many tags I can give maximum? 50 tags you can give. So name is web server. Team is equal to which team they are using. Owner, who is the owner? Contact person, who is the contact person? If something goes wrong with that EC2 instance, as you are an admin, AWS engineer, you need to contact the team members, no? If you don't know all this information, to whom you will contact? So for that reason, tags are highly recommended, but it is optional. It is optional. It is highly recommended. Is it mandatory? it is optional. It's up to you. If you want to manage the tags properly, manage it and chill. If you don't manage the tags properly, so you start all kind of headaches, you will get it. Okay, Nana? Good. So what is a tag? What do you say? Tags are key value pair. Tags are key value pair. Tags are key value pair. Can we say tags are used for identification purpose? Tags are used for identification purpose. No, these tags are not only IAM specific. These tags are for entire AWS. So tags that I'm talking about in IAM service, no, tags is not only specific for IAM. Tags is for all services. Can I create a tag for my bucket? Can I create a tag for my EC2? Can I create a tag for IAM user? Can I create a tag for RDS DB instance? Everywhere you can create the tags. So tags are not IAM specific. It is throughout AWS. So tags are very important, but it is optional. Okay. Okay, let's say for example, I always give this example here. Assume I have 500 IAM users. How many IAM users are there? 500. So now these IAM users are few people are DevOps, few people are admins, few people are related to security, few people are related to DBA. Okay. So now I have a task for you. I mean, here. Let's say, for example, I take Rahul only. So Rahul is here. So now I ask Rahul, hey Rahul, how many IAM users are there now? 500 are there. And I told to Rahul that, hey Rahul, please go and delete all DBA IAM users. Please go and delete all DBA IAM users. Now tell me, how do you do? Now in front of you, you have 500 users. Okay, you have Excel sheet. You have a paper, you have Excel sheet. I told you to delete all DBAs. How do you do it? How do you do it? Normal, generally. So how do you do it is here? You go to each and every IAM user, no? You take first IAM user. You will confirm whether he is a DBA or not. You go to the second, third, fourth, fifth. Like this, all 500 you need to go, no? So all 500 you need to go. And let's say IAM user 1 is there. And you have mentioned the tag. He is from DBA or not. Check the tag. If he is from DBA, delete it. If it is not, leave it. So that meaning he need to go with all 500 IAM users or not? He need to go with all 500. Is it easy to go with all 500 IAM users? So guys, these kind of people, I'm just giving one small philosophy here. Huh? These kind of people are called hard workers. Yes or no? So they'll spend a lot of time and they'll go and delete it. Okay. What they do, they manually go with all 500 users, delete one by one. These are hard workers, guys. And they're all another workers. Who are those? So here we have smart workers. What the smart worker will do? They work smart. Yeah. What they do? How do they do this? They will write a small script. Yes or no? They'll automate, right? They'll write a small script saying that they'll write like this, but I'm putting the logic. Don't think that I'm writing some query. So delete all IAM users where key is equal to name, value is equal to DBA. So every IAM user has a tag, no? Every IAM user has a tag, like a key is there and then value is there. So can I write a small script? In using tags, can I go and delete all stuff? Yes. For that reason, I said with the combination of AWS, I would vote for one automation scripting language, the scripting. Which one? Yes, I would vote for Python. So if you have Python in your hands, if you learn Python, your next career will be super good. That meaning, instead of going with the hard worker, you will save a lot of time by writing a small script. No, if you completely come out of ahead and say that, hey, uh, I don't know Python completely. Okay, no problem. Go and sit and do it. How much time? 500 users, 5 hours, right? If you know Python, write a script, a small script. If we spend 30 minutes, write a small script, use the Lambda and then execute. No, okay. For that reason, whenever you have time, so please learn Python also, but it's not mandatory, but it's recommended. Okay. No, it doesn't. Okay. So let's say, for example, now I have 100 EC2 instances. How many, Nana? 100 EC2 instances. And 50 EC2 instances are related to DevOps, and they have the tags called name is equal to DevOps. And they said that, hey, DevOps people said that we are not using the EC2 instance at night. Please go and stop it. Please go and stop it. So will you go and stop all 50 EC2 instances manually? How do you do it? Lambda function. Use Lambda function. No. Use Lambda function and then go ahead and then stop all the EC2 instances by using tags. How do you identify? Using tags only. So you go and write a Lambda function saying that, hey, search all the EC2 instances which has the tag called name is equal to DevOps, and then go and stop. You can write it. Otherwise, you need to go one by one parallelly and then go and stop all the EC2 instances, 50 EC2 instances, you need to stop manually, which is not good. So can we say tags are used for automation purpose also? Yes. Tags are helpful for doing automations in AWS. Guys, if I stop 50 EC2 instances, can I save the cost also? Can I save the cost also? Money, can I save my money? Yes. So that meaning using tags, can I do the cost optimization? Yes. Tags are helpful for doing cost optimization also. Okay. So how many tags you can have per resource? Maximum tags per resource is 50. That is a certification question. Now, is this clear till here, everyone? Okay. And then there are few jujube things are there. Jujube things are meaning what? Very small, simple things in IAM. So like the one which we have here is IAM credentials report. What is that? Credentials report. Let's say your manager asked, hey, can you go me and then give me the list of all IAM users with their password, with their access keys they have done, etc. Basically, he's asking all the inventory for you. How many IAM users are there and who are those people, which team member, what are the tags, etc., etc. Do they have access keys or not? Give me the list of everything. A manager will ask you like this. And what will you do? Will you go and manually open one by one and then write it down in Excel sheet? No. What you do is there is something called here credentials report. Just a button. If you just click on that button, automatically one Excel sheet will get downloaded. What does the Excel sheet contain? All the information of IAM users. That is called credentials report. So this will be used for your inventory purpose. So here I'm writing a report that lists all your accounts, users, and the status of their various credentials. Support. And see here, guys. How many maximum set of keys you can have per IAM user? How many maximum set of keys? How many maximum set of keys? 2 keys. Okay, now you have the key with you. Or you have the IAM username password with you, or you have the programmatical access also, you have the console access also. So now, guys, as a best practice, it is recommended to change or to rotate your username and password, or you rotate your keys every 3 months. Yes or no? Let's say you have your Gmail password, no? So Gmail password, sometimes not Gmail. Let's say you take a bank. You have internet banking, right? So internet banking, the same password will continue for years and years. No, after a couple of months or 3 months, you will be forced to change the password, no? Yes or no? So what they are doing is, for the best practice for the safety, you're rotating the passwords. That meaning if the old password is compromised, right? So it is very problem for you, right? So every 3 months, it is good to change the password for security purpose. So please keep this in mind. It's a best practice to change the passwords. It is a best practice to change or rotate the passwords and keys for the IAM users for security purpose. Make sense? Okay. Now, and then also you have few small things which is called access analyzer. What is that? Say that. Access analyzer. So access analyzer meaning you no need to do anything there. As a manager, I said to you, hey Babu, please go and check the access for all IAM users, because there might be a chances where you might be giving full permissions. Is it good to give the full permissions? So as a manager, I asked you, please, you might be having so many 500, 600 IAM users are there. As a manager, I told you that, hey, go and check the access for all the IAM users. And if someone has full permissions, go and remove it. Will you go and do it manually one by one? So there is an option here called access analyzer. The name itself clearly says access analyzer. So if you go and create one access analyzer, what it does, it will analyze the access for all IAM users. And if you see any findings, any issues, it will give a report to you. Based on the report, you take the action. That is called access analyzer. So access analyzer, right? Analyze the access for all IAM users and gives actions to act on it. Got it, guys? No, is this clear? And then we have access advisor. What is that? Access advisor. See, there are small things. Access advisor. Access advisor meaning, let's say, for example, Anudeep. I'll take Anudeep. Huh? Is there Anudeep? Anudeep. So Anudeep is there. So I have created an IAM user called Anudeep. Okay. And now I have given EC2 permissions, S3 permissions, RDS permissions. Now I told to him, hey Anudeep, tomorrow launch one EC2 instance and come back to me and tell. And what he did was, he came tomorrow and said, Riyaz sir, I tried a lot, but I could not able to launch EC2 instance. Are why? tell me, did you try it or not? He said, yes, sir, I tried. So now, as an admin, what I do is I can log into the AWS console and I can go to the IAM user of Anudeep. And if I go in, there is a small button called Access Advisor. If I click on it, it will show what are the permissions Anudeep has and when he has last accessed. And what kind of permission he has? S3, EC2, RDS. So Access Advisor shows what kind of permissions he has when he has lastly accessed. When I see he was not accessed at all. EC2, he did not access at all. So can I catch him? As a manager, can I catch him? Yes. So like this will Access Advisor will help you to identify what kind of access the IAM user has and when he has lastly used. So for investigation purpose and for auditing purpose, you can use this Access Advisor. Okay. Right, like that. Okay. So it shows the service permissions granted to the user and when those were last used. And it is used to revise your policies to the users. So based on that, can I revise the policies to him? Yes, it's an Access Advisor. Yes, we can limit the permissions. Once you need to write inline permissions for that inline policy. Okay, so guys, so we all having a root account. So if you want to handle multiple root accounts, what is the concept? If you want to handle multiple root accounts, how do you do it? What service? Huh? If I want to manage multiple root accounts, what is the concept? Organizations. What is that? Organizations. So organizations. So organizations is used for what? For managing multiple root accounts. For multiple root accounts. And what is the main account called? Main account I'll call management account. And these are all called member accounts. So all these things will be managed by the root account. So can all these root accounts can be in my organization? Yes. And how do I control, guys, how do I control permissions for my root account, my member account using SCP? Very good. What is that? SCP. What is SCP? Service Control Policies. So if your SSO, we discussed about SSO, no? Which one? Identity Center. Which one? Identity Center. There, it is a combination of your organizations and SSO, correct? Yes or no? It's a combination of your organizations and SSO. If you want to work on SSO, definitely should have organizations. So what are the things that we have learned here is, did we learn about IAM users? Did we learn about IAM groups? Did we learn about IAM policies? Did we learn about IAM roles? Did we learn about federation or identity center? Identity center. Guys, all this will form IAM service. Should I tell you good news? We are done with IAM. Pin to pin, topic to topic, deeper on IAM. Is it clear? But guys, but I would like to give always some what? Extra. Do you want some extra on IAM? Yes or no? A bad sound. Okay. So online, what do you think? I'll show you. You want now? Okay. So I'll give you one real-time thing. Okay. So guys, listen this carefully and you should answer it. Okay. I'll give you a real-time scenario. Okay. See guys, this is my account. Whose account? Ria's AWS account. Okay. Remember, whenever every person who has the AWS account, everyone has the AWS account now? Yes. Every AWS account, you have AWS account ID also. What's that? Account ID. Everyone, if you have AWS account, you will be having AWS ID. I'll show you when we go to practicals, I'll show you where is that ID. Everyone will have that ID, and that is 12 digit. How many digit? 12 digit ID is there. Nana, is it possible for us to remember this 12 digit ID number? It is difficult for us to remember a phone number only. How can you remember your 12 digit account ID? Huh? So, do you remember your bank account number? No, who cares, right? No. So, here also, every AWS account will have a individual ID which is unique. Everyone has a unique number, 12 digit number. Is it possible for remember? No. So instead of that, what can we do is, okay, for your in our bank also, internet banking, sometimes you'll have customer ID is there, no? So customer ID can be changed to your nickname. Yeah. So do you remember the customer ID? No, but can you remember your nickname? So here also, what we can do is, you no need to remember this 12 digit. What you can do is, you have something called account name, or you can call it as alias. What you can do? Alias. You can create an alias for your 12 digit account number. Let's say, for example, I have created an alias called Ria Cloud. What is that? Ria Cloud is equal to my 12 digit account ID. Both are same or different? Same. Both are same. Okay, Nana? You got it? Okay. Now question here is, Rahul is there. Rahul is not from my company. Rahul is not from my company. He is a third party guy. And Rahul asks, sir, I want to access your AWS account. I want to access your AWS account. What will you do? IAM user. So what will you do is, you create a IAM user. Where I need to create? In my account, right? So I need to create a IAM user. What is the username? Rahul. And what do you want to access? Let's say he want to access S3. What you want to access? S3. When you create IAM user, you need to give the permission also, no? But is he from my company? Do I know him? If you don't know him and you are not from your company, will you create an IAM user for in your account? Is it recommended to create IAM user? Not recommended. But how do you access to your account? Is the concept. Interesting, no? Real time, right? So what we do is, Rahul also will have his own AWS account. Yes or no? No. Rahul also has its own AWS account. See, listen this carefully. Rahul's AWS account. He also has account ID. AWS account ID is there. So now what I can do is, I don't want to create IAM user here. I don't want to create a IAM user. Guys, how will you give permissions without credentials? What is the concept? Roles. What is the concept? Roles. So roles will come into picture again here. Because you do without credentials, you want to access my account, right? Without credentials. So without credentials meaning, what is the concept? Role. So where I need to create I need to create a role, IAM role in my account. Correct? I create a IAM role. I need to give the name of the role, no? Can I call it as Rahul role? And while creating a role, I need to give the permissions. What Rahul want to access in my account? Which service? S3. So when you're creating a role, I will give what policy? S3 policy. And I want to, how do I identify Rahul account? Using AWS ID. How do I identify Rahul account? Every account will be identified with the account ID. So I'm creating a role, no? So this role is for whom? Rahul. So how can I put Rahul like this? No. So I need to put here AWS ID. Which ID? Rahul's AWS ID. Nana, you can write the tag also. You can put the tag. Tags are optional. That's why I'm skipping. Okay. So now, once you create a role, this role will give the URL. URL will be generated. This URL, you give it to Rahul. What Rahul will do? Rahul will access this URL and log in to Ria's AWS account and access which service? S3 service only, because I have given only S3. Now, is it good to give full permissions, managed policy or inline policy? So remember, don't use, in this case, don't use managed policy. Use inline, because so whatever he want to access, give only that access, don't give full access. And this URL is valid for only 1 hour by default, 1 hour duration by default. Okay, I can give the role, I can give the URL to him. Or, very important, every AWS account will have something called switch role. What is that, Nana? What is that? Switch role. Every AWS account, whenever you log into the AWS account, on the right side top, if you drop down it, there is something called switch role. What is that? Switch role. So switch role meaning you can switch to, and now this Rahul want to switch to which account? My account. So either he can use the URL or he can use switch role. If you click on switch role, it will ask, Babu, which account name that you want to switch? Which account name that you want to switch? What is account name? Ria Cloud. Fantastic. And then another question it will ask, Babu, what is the role name that you want to switch? What is the role name? Rahul role. And then enter. Without credentials, he can, once he click on switch role, automatically he will be switching to my account from here only. Understand? Right? So this is how in real time it works. This concept is called switch role concept. Right? Switch role. So this is what I wanted to give you extra. Right? This will happen only if Rahul will have the AWS account. Of course, yes. You should have AWS account. And is this clear till here, everyone? To create a role, is AWS mandatory, sir? In this case, if you want to if you are creating a role to other AWS account, then AWS ID is mandatory. If you want to create within the AWS, role ID is not required because it is within your account. If you are giving permission to other account, then AWS ID is mandatory. Nana, understood switch role? So what is switch role? So is it good to create, let's say in real time, you are working and there are some consultants that they want to work in your company. Those are consultants, no? Are they your employees? No, there are consultants from other company. For other company, will you create an IAM users? No, the consultants will have the AWS account. No. So what you in your company, in your account, create a role and take the AWS ID for your consultant and create a role, give the URL to them. Simple. And will you use managed policy or inline policy? Perfectly what kind of permissions that he want to have, give only that permissions because it is not safe. Okay. There is a question. Regional or global, sir? IAM is regional or global? So whatever we are talking about in IAM is global. That is Vamshi. Access analyzer. Which one is that? One more example of what is there in example in access analyzer? Okay, I'm giving you Kunal, right? Access analyzer. Kunal, you are working with me. Okay, you are working with me, and you are handling the AWS IAM account. You are handling my AWS account, and there are 500 IAM users. And I ask you Kunal, saying that, hey Kunal, go and see who has what kind of permissions. Kunal, will you able to go individually and check all 500 IAM users who has permissions and what? No. What will you do in this case? Access analyzer. So create one access analyzer. You click on click analyzer. It will analyze all the access for all IAM users. And if at all you have any findings, like you are giving any full permissions, if I'm giving something like roles like this, so it will give you all the findings and it will download an Excel sheet and it will give it to you. And based on that, you can work. That is access analyzer. You can create in that case, Zafar bhai. So by default, it is 1 hour. You can change that, Yatin. You can change that. If someone is not having AWS account ID, then he cannot able to switch. If someone doesn't have, if Rahul doesn't have AWS ID, how can he switch? He need to go and click, put the cupboard switch, electric switch. Nothing to do. How can he do the batting without bat? Correct? No. Right? If you are playing cricket, right? If you're playing cricket without, well, how can you do the batting? Okay. URL can be accessed by non-AWS also. That's the same question for him. No, you should not give like that, Vijay. Okay. Good. So we are done with IAM. So that is the deepest level of IAM. So because guys, generally IAM service is used to create IAM users, groups, roles. They'll do like this. But how many we spent 3 days on IAM to went very deeper into the topics. You understood clearly, Nana? Everyone? Super. So take the screenshots. And tomorrow is Nimarjanam, right? So we'll have class. But if something, any kind of announcement is there, you will get announcement in the Google Classroom. Okay, please watch it. Because I need to come all the way from Miyapur, right? So thank you, Srinivas. Okay, and the second one. Yes, guys, as we are done with IAM theory, from tomorrow we'll be doing the practicals. So the most awaited thing, practicals. But remember, is it a good way that we are going? 100%, 200%, because theoretically, logically, technically, we have learned a lot. And now it's time for practicals. As we have learned completely on IAM, if you go and do the practicals, it will be very easy for you. Okay. And the last one. Shivareddy, first you learn DevOps, then you can come. That 3 different root accounts is an example that we took, Shivakumar. Correct, Kunal. Wait, no. So do we go topic by topic in practicals? Of course. We'll go and create IAM users. We'll go and create groups. We'll go and create roles. We create policies. Huh? Everything we do. Okay, Nana? Super. Okay, so tomorrow, please watch out the Google Classroom. Okay. So if Naresh IT decided something, so based on that, we'll take it. But maximum, we have a class. We have a class. It can be online also. I'm just thinking because, as you guys cannot come offline, right? So please, before half an hour before, have a look in the Google Classroom, whether we all need to join online or we don't know, right? So please keep an eye on the Google Classroom tomorrow. If you have any questions on links and all, please contact your admin. Who is your admin? Shubham. Yes. Can you give the final CC for today, please? CC will smile. Great. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the practicals. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow. Thank you.